When I'm describing Demon1,
Describe Max in one sentence.
fearless,
More than likely the best player in the world.
He is hyper talented at the micro in the game.
Gameplay, he's such like a stone cold killer.
better, and hungry for clips. I'll say hungry for clips.
Once in a while, a player comes along who just has something special.
Silent Fox is your Dragon Ball Fighters Evolution 2018 champion.
Face is a trend. He's gonna hit the ground there as Cold. Oh! What? A jumping double from Cold!
Key men here because they've got big armor, and Nico's putting in more damage. Well, what is that? No! That's the 1 versus 1. Is he really gonna ace? Simple just jumping casually into the side. He's gonna fall down again. What is this clutch from Simple? Are you serious? What is that? You can't do that, Simple. That's not allowed. This is not FPL. This is a major.
Enough for Ryu. Oh, look at the class. Look at the moves. Faker. What was that?
These are once-in-a-generation talents that defy expectations as if it were just another day at the office. However, a new name might soon join that conversation.
What's one? It's not a comfortable plant. He's gonna get it down for now. Closing the gap though, you gotta respect this man. A danger! A danger for Radford!
Dash anymore.
He doesn't have help. He does not have help, and it does not matter. Oh my gosh! What was that?
Back into the site. Has to be the big moment. Demon1. This guy is just spectacular.
Evil Geniuses Demon1 is already making his case as the best duelist in Valorant, but the young star has a chance to be considered among the best players in the world. Max Demon1 Mazanov grew up in Brooklyn, New York, where he lived life with his mom, dad, and older sister, where money and space were tight.
Growing up, I didn't have my own room and all of that. Like I always lived in the living room basically. Like my computer was there, I had a mattress there, just slept on the mattress, all that. You know, it's just like me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, and that's about it. Like that was all the family we had.
He was introduced to the game Unreal Tournament, not because he gravitated towards it, but because it was the only game that he had that was on his dad's computer. That natural interest in the game turned into a side hustle. There he would earn money competing in Unreal tournaments where he realized his talent for first-person shooters.
Cause I was on everyone, even on 30 frames. It didn't matter what I had, I was just completely owning everyone, no matter what the computer I had.
That guy's one, I'm gonna force him. I got him.
LG his ass.
Behind
What's
us.
behind?
Headshot. On two guys.
Okay, I headshot one.
I try rocking one.
I caught one.
Oh, I almost got a multi there.
Demon1 had a balanced life in Brooklyn, New York. He spent a lot of his free time playing video games while also participating in track and basketball, all while he was attending school. However, an injury to his knee would stop him from pursuing sports as his attention shifted to Riot Games' new FPS title, Valorant.
During like high school, I got injured, so I couldn't do track anymore. And so I just kept on playing games every single day for like the next 3 years or whatever, right? And then I got here at this point.
Starting in early 2022, Demon1 would compete in small B and C tier Valorant tournaments under various teams. However, the start of 2023 would mark the biggest change of his life when he would get picked up by Evil Geniuses as a reserve. For most, the newfound pressures of playing under a major organization would be the biggest struggle. For Demon1, it was everyday life.
In real life, he's kind of, I don't know, he's like a little kid. Like, that's the way I kind of see him.
You could tell right away that Max was fresh, you know, and I'm not even just talking about fresh in esports because that's obvious. He's a very new name. No one's really ever heard of him, but fresh in life, you know, like when he moved to LA and when I first spoke to him, the kinds of things that he had never done before.
Max had never been out of his house.
Never eaten Chick-fil-A, never ate Chipotle, never cooked his own meal, really. Just a very different kind of human.
He'd been in New York with his parents for a long time, and so like a lot of the stuff that we learned together was really fun. And honestly, like it's the first time I've done that with someone, and I feel super invested in Max's success now. I'm not gonna lie, like dude, because like we'd just be chilling. He'd be like, dude, how the do I turn on the laundry machine?
Kind of mind-blowing that someone like that could exist in America.
And a lot of the time I was just like, dude, there's no way that I like this is the 4th time I showed you how to turn on the dryer, bro.
At the same time, it was exciting to see in his eyes everything new for the first time, but for him, just that determination of getting it done was really cool to see.
While basic things like learning how to do laundry and trying fast foods were foreign to Demon1, something that he was fully confident in was his determination to become a starter in the VCT Americas League.
He really had no doubt in his mind that he was going to be playing in the VCT this year. So I let him know that being on the bench or being on a reserve roster isn't historically very fruitful in FPS. It doesn't really make sense that a player of your caliber would be on the bench or be a 6th player or a 7th player. And there's no guarantees that you're actually going to play next year, you know? And he was just like, you know what? It's all good.
When I played in like tier 2, I just straight up knew I'm better than every single player that I've played against. So it's just like, there's no way I'm not going to start eventually. Just give it time and I'll be there.
Nobody could deny Demon1's mechanical talents. But there's more to being a professional Valorant player than just being mechanically gifted at the game.
He was just a quiet guy. He didn't really say much to me. I didn't really talk to him at all. I just knew that EG picked him up for a reason. He was nuts mechanically. I watched him a couple times. Like when the reserve was practicing, I would get the link and I would watch them play. So I knew his mechanics were insane.
Because you came from an Unreal Tournament, it's such like a mechanically challenging game. There's a lot of movement, a lot of tracking that you have to do, and it just trains you in aim specifically. But when it comes to like anything team-wise, it's like useless. You know what I mean?
Explaining it to my teammates what I'm gonna be doing, that was like the more like harder part to like go through and like say what I'm gonna be doing this round or like what I want to happen. Like in my head, I know what I want to happen, but like explaining it in like the 20 seconds or whatever, that's like the challenging part.
But once communication got sorted out, Demon1's abilities as a Valorant player exponentially grew.
I mean, we were a fresh team playing against only franchise practice. And we were going even, but after like a week of being a team together and a couple key talks with Max where he started, I guess, having more trust in me and I had more trust in him, do what he needed to do, we started owning everybody.
Evil Geniuses struggled in the VCT Americas League as they began their season with an 0-2 sweep from Cloud9 in week 1. That prompted a substitution to bring Demon1 into the main lineup for VCT Americas League towards the tail end of their game against 100 Thieves.
News. That's right. Demon is coming in and is subbed for BCJ. So Demon's coming in hot, baby.
He's the next guy up. What if it's Yay on an alt account? Who knows?
No. Well, I literally just saw him. I don't think that's. I mean, that's.
We saw him physically.
I mean, there he is. That same level of skill. There's always diamonds in the rough. We've seen it with Jake and Rudy. We've seen it with EG before. A lot of people didn't know a lot about the players on this team last year before they started finding their way into the tier 1 scene with this EG roster. So maybe that's just the next step. I'm kind of here for it.
I was super excited, but that's like one of the rare moments. I was like super happy and excited, but definitely I was so happy. I was like, yes, finally. About time.
Currently moving into the B site from the back of the site, and it's going to be Demon1 getting the first kill for the VCTs on a professional team, and it's also our VG getting a flawless into the round.
While Demon1 ultimately did not win in his debut series against 100 Thieves, he still maintained a strong level of confidence despite entering a higher level of play.
I wasn't really ever nervous. Even like when I first started, I wasn't nervous. I was just more of like, I don't know how the other team was going to play yet, because I've never played 100 Thieves before. That was just like the only thing in my head. It's just like, well, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna play? How are they gonna react to me and stuff like that? But I wasn't like nervous in like my skill or like gameplay at all. I was just doing my thing.
After that first week against 100 Thieves, Evil Geniuses got their first win of the season against the winless Crew Esports. While they were unable to pick up a win in the VCT Americas League Super Week against Loud and Furia, the team noticeably looked a lot stronger as both series could have easily went in favor of Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses went on a 3-game winning streak to propel themselves in a position to actually make the underdog run to VCT Americas League playoffs. Unfortunately, at 4-5, their hopes of making the playoffs rest in the hands of MIBR, who at the time had been on a losing streak and without their star duelist Heat.
I didn't think we were gonna make it because obviously MIBR were playing with the coach and 100 Thieves are 100 Thieves.
Neither of us believed that was happening, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The whole team did is happening.
Yet despite playing with a coach, MIBR was doing the seemingly impossible.
Chosen spraying tonight. No way. Off of it all. He's the hero in this scenario, and 100 Thieves have been denied.
I was just watching it, I just couldn't believe it. Like, that should not have happened, but it did.
We couldn't believe our eyes on how that game ended. Everybody was hoping for the best, but pretty prepared for the worst to happen.
I was just like, there's no way they win this, but they somehow won. And I was like, wow. Don't know how, but sure, thank you.
Evil Geniuses entered the VCT Americas League playoffs as the 6th seed. where their first opponent would be against NRG. NRG were the only team in the VCT Americas League regular season to hand a series loss to the Americas League winners Loud. As a result, expectations were low for Evil Geniuses going into playoffs. Evil Geniuses stunned NRG as they sent one of the primary contenders to win the VCT Americas League straight to the lower bracket. There, they primed themselves in a position to do the unthinkable and qualify for VCT Masters Tokyo. However, in order to do that, they would need to beat Cloud9, a team that dominated the VCT Americas League regular season with an 8-1 record and only dropping 5 games all throughout the season. Yet despite this notion, Demon1 held a similar mentality going into that series. Every opponent is the same.
1 HP. Nice. Amen. He's blind. Max got him. Nice! You're better, Ethan! Nice! I told you, baby, let's get it. I can TP up you guys now.
Drop orb.
Anything?
Drop orb.
Oh, he's fine.
From nearly missing the playoffs to qualifying for their first international event, Evil Geniuses' run in the VCT Americas League was special. Unfortunately, the win was bittersweet for Demon1, who because of visa issues was unable to join Evil Geniuses at VCT Masters Tokyo.
I just did not want to talk to anyone, didn't want to do anything. I just didn't want to be here. I was just like, well, I mean, my team is going, I'm not going. Like, why should I be here?
By some miracle, Demon1 was able to secure his visa, where he and Evil Geniuses went on a tear.
Hello everyone and welcome to day 1 of Masters Tokyo, coming at you live from the Tipstar Dome in Chiba. 2 unlikely contenders find themselves in a collision course here in Tokyo. It's about to go down. Evil Geniuses versus FUT Esports. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to continue to go forward, but EG keeping him back.
Blocking sight.
We settle into a 2v2, the spam from Demon1. Nice! There it is, the swing. Boostio's got aggressive! And he gets 4! Yes! I'm so good! EG Open Masters Tokyo with a 2-0 win over FUT.
Our attitude and our approach changed, because the first week we got there, it was just being pretty much grateful. We had just found out that Max could even go. Then after our first win, you could kind of sense the shift in confidence. Our attitude towards the game became a lot more nonchalant at the same time. It was so bizarre to see because our confidence just kept going up higher and higher. And then in turn, also we had like this copium of we don't care, whatever happens, it doesn't matter. And we just kept telling each other that, and it really helped.
Demon1's performance at VCT Masters Tokyo was impressive, but there was one moment in the tournament against Fnatic in the upper bracket grand final that became a career highlight play that would spark new question: is Demon1 the next generational talent in Valorant?
Maybe not. Maybe it's Demon1. He's got the knives out. A 2v2, Alpha and Chronicle, to try and get Fnatic across the line.
Oh my God!
He's trying to save them, but it's Alpha up against Demon now. Oh my God! This guy is out of this world. El Diablo's dead. There's a new king of hell. Demon now.
Oh my God, that is fast as holy how's he hit that shot?
Bro, it's
so fast, man.
Oh my God!
First, I think it's a sick line. First, that's like a very sick line.
I slowed it down to 0.25 after, and I'm watching it and rewatching it, and it gets crazier and crazier the more you watch it.
The neurons haven't fired in my brain yet, and the guy's already dead, and he's dashed out.
When I rewatched the VOD and I heard that, my whole body just got goosebumps.
I mean, it was an unforgettable experience.
He's like our version of a Nico, our version of a Simple.
When I heard that in the moment, I was like, damn, wait, that was kind of fire. The whole line, that was fire. But the comparisons, I don't really care, what people compare me to or who. Just I don't know. But my skill speaks for itself. You guys can say whatever.
Max is definitely a generational talent, and it helps, of course, that his alias is Demon1 and Ye was El Diablo. So the storyline just kind of perfectly fits into place. But regardless of whether Max's alias was Demon1 or not, I think this is definitely the conversation that we would be having regardless. His performances have just been, I mean, it's just been insane to watch, and he's just getting started.
From starting 2023 as a reserve to making it all the way to the grand final of VCT Masters Tokyo, Demon1's trajectory in 2023 has been an unimaginable roller coaster, as this rookie campaign in the VCT is one that has many excited for his future.
All of us have confidence, and he makes us have that confidence. He's so young, he's so inexperienced that we've had talks of he doesn't realize going to Tokyo and getting second is players don't get to achieve that in their lifetime. Majority of pro players don't get to achieve an international LAN and get second or first. And it's his first one ever. He barely just started playing pro. He doesn't realize what he's doing. So I try to tell him dude, you're not gonna forget this for the rest of your life, and just cherish it while you can.
Max was the main reason why I really loved LA. The fact that I was able to have a roommate that not only wanted to hang out, interact, and do stuff with me, but also loved Valorant. Dude, it was awesome.
This kid is gonna go very far. If he does what needs to be done and he's coached in the right way, learns what he needs to learn about his voice, like I said, then he's going to be an incredible player for many, many years to come.
It's just insane to see what else he can do for the next couple of years with the game, right? He's one of those players that will make the metas. He's one of those players that will take an agent and create the meta. So he's a special player for sure.